Because we could, that was fucked then with touching on beige, yeah. It was a certain, a sikha suddenly, you must swat. So they wasn't a sikha, and nobody understood that the same, but later they understood. Unfortunately, was Gilmore Swat, and later, that was Bob Swat, he spoke, yeah. Ich frage Gilmore Swat, but Rabbi Gerät, he says, all of a sudden, there's a small sikha, Kamincha, then 2 years later, another sikha, was modern sikhas. He spoke, good, and we got together, he said, he was Pasha Beza, yeah, Pasha Beza, yeah. To Gerät, the meaning, they said, the famous one that I spoke on, and the Churd, he says, and they should be a good time post, I get them against the party, and qua per, qua loschen, and a verfein, ja. Das Ganze, das haben wir eigentlich immer von R&B mit Jäger. Ich spoke that the doctor, the professor, that was gefragt ist, war Davis auf die Worte allein, was Satire, was Hamayonis, wie kann sein, mit der Rebbe ist es, wie man schreibt, reden, no, yeah. Having a stroke and plan from the master that he had, the people couldn't talk, made not clear. Mehr hat gesagt, kein Mamorim, ich bin kein Chazorim, ich bin kein Sichus, there was no hypothesis Satire, maybe she was hypothesis Satire. The doctor said, wie kann sein, ein Mann ist Adinin, ja. Gut, maybe she geantwortet, das war, haben sie mir nie gemacht. Und ich waren die mit Jachen. Wir haben das aber gesagt, ach, then he spoke the Indian from Bale Party to the later, to get here started, to the later. Ich habe das Volkes, jemand bei Bale Party, bei Bale Spirit kommen her, ja. Und ich in der Kappel, das ich dann gerne die Hidor, und ich habe das Volkes, ich bin Bale Party, ne, Bescheid. Pasche Beisos, ich meine, das mit der Baker. The base really come here. So as I said this, and I spoke about many times. In the Terre, he was all pared, the Pale had deceived of Matonis in Kilbuim. I was to be a pared from State Pike to be a pared. The fun is here, but I be a pared, and they should never get a ranch again. If you understand in a girdle, you went for by the door, he says, a pared was the tan in my girdle, because I chig there. Zeggen de Tsjech, de Eri, dat niemand van dat de Tan Magordon nog steeds in de Bosselgami, de Eesje is gebeest, ja. Maar ze kan niet bij die Eri wanneer ze zien, no. So, de big klippen, the measure was afraid to go in, they were told some bail party, yeah. The bail party, dat was meer van de vegetatijd, die steeds in zeer regen. A Baal Pare, a meisje van mij had er eindelijk gemaakt, die went begeisterd jullie dat. Geven, de genoemde Gede, was de bigge Igulun, Pare in de Baal Spirit, van de heren, en dat gewend begeisterd Igulun. Peter de Retters, en dat Chiles, en dit Nantiles, en dat Simpson. Dit is de hachmat dingen etsen, nee, eerlijk net Simpson. Er komt zoals de huis met drie van de eeuw. Van meisje van mij Gede was een Gede, goed. Het was een beetje meegaan, van Julia Gordel, van meegaan dat naar Rijnschikken. Er was een beetje was er meer eigen in, maar aan mij is de etsen. De baas van de etsen mechaber, dat ik heb ergens een keelme en zo maar goed. Dus de etsen is mechaber onder haar volgen. Aan meeste had iets was meer aan Rijnschikken, maar het baasje meer de etsen dat aan mij eigen in, maar geen zoals. En dan is het meer in de andere jaren, dat je essen mag nog 5 jaar aankomen, maar gaan we verder, je hebt niet zo'n bedoel, er is een kelen, je zegt maar met zoals een stelsel. Ik vond de essen, het is een Engel, die stuk hier, dat is nog de honde koede, als ik van de essen was nog hebben, alle gevolgen. We put in the whole Indian in this shit. And we mentioned from the Sikh as well, I forgot books of it. It's not like this, but that is like a minor then. das war meistens schwarz. Ich komme schon aus dem Schwarz, ich habe es noch nicht schwarz. Und da bin ich gerade von meinem, wegen Kehren, von Kehren, Schlimmen, behechelt. So, ich sehe ein Stückchen Baden, und der Rebbe Rashad meine, von der Ches, das Famous von meinem, Schuhe von der Ches. Das ist Maamar in der Korbe Hawaii. Ja, ich komme von ihm, wenn die Stiere schlieben, diese Teers, der geht für Hamasik, that you don't understand. A person high, the you doesn't understand, yeah. That depends, is little behechlich, yeah. That's some high. Da habe ich das an mit 3 Ischites, dann in dem Gebäude das Halten, erst an den Pschütten mit Gamre, die ganze Ziel enorm zu bekehren, und wir bedanken für die Sphäre. So, das ist doch lang, nicht only Mercedes, that's all Kalim and all have no shackle to air.
What does it mean you're down to the Kalim?
I mean, the Mercedes said it's also a course. The Kalim is also a course. But I can't. Good. The Kanti says Kolor that it's Yashmi'ayin. So Mercedes says it's not Yashmi'ayin, the Kalim. If you live him, it works built in the carrots. It's like a bria, but not bria mama, so it's a course. But the Eibush is partial betaklis, have no shaykhis, and have the English and all the Inyanim is so okay. Machine the part that holds the opposite way, that is air substitute Mugamma. Even though there's a spirit part of the Chesish, which is, but the pill, the Pelmacha, Runin, he says, part of the air substitute Mugamma. So the Mele, I Chesed the Gvura, it's a Kale, all these things. The air comes from Kalim. I feel it's not in Kalim, the Dada, the Chais of Kalim. Of the air bleiben noch put in Kemaim basis. Na Kalim, that the Kalim is green or red, but there's nothing, has nothing to do to the mind. The color has nothing to do to the mind. The mind stays pshutim. But since this is the Chais of Kalim, so it's not mamish. So the Kalim is the Chais, but the Chai Einish, as you report, is all these Inyanim have no Shaykhah directed to the air. It's the Kalim, but in the Kalim is the air. The Ariza holds that the air is in the Kalim, even though it's Pshutim, it's not Pshutim Begamre. Chassidus says this is the Ariza Shlil Sachir, or maybe partly it's Shlil Behechel, but at least it's Shlil Behechel. So the air comes into the Kalim and the looks green. And the Ariza on the other side is the Kabbalah Tzoy, holds that the air comes to the Kalim, it's not Pshutim Begamre, it has a certain atmosphere of Belin Ma. So it's like a Belin Ma, but it's a sphere that's in the air already. And the Rebbe speaks about that Chassidus Nanton, the Shittas Arizal, the Shittas HaMacharav, that whole Chassidus, there's a problem, she had nothing to do to this. We all know the part of that, the Ramak, you learn from above. Even this doesn't say directly from above, it says in different places, from the Ches, different places. Ramak would lay Yodim in that symptom, right? The Ramak did not hold me in that symptom with Chiluk. So the name of him, it has to be Pshutim. Because the air is, Babik is always Babik in the Makkah, there's no symptom. There's no Silk Lagamre, so the air is so Pshutim. Here is a hold that Yodim in that symptom. So Chassidus fight with the Yodim in that symptom didn't come the time to be Megala the symptom, fine. But the people the Yodim in that symptom. So there's no ein Arechem air Lagab Bahaya, so air is so Pshutim of the pastures. Arizal he Yodim in that symptom, so the symptoms in the Dilok, so there could be in air where you beheld some type of air, some type of sphere. So Chassidus B'chol takes like the powers, this in. Look, so so we hear also, he mentioned the powers, he mentioned the Arizal, the powers hold Either Chaye Echad, that's the air שבתוך הכלי, the air attack a portion of this. And the killer, and all these things are on the killer, and the air is in the killer, but it's not, it doesn't touch the air. The Achiva holds that the Shaykh is more to the air. The Shanta holds the Chai fact actually, and the Alter Rebbe is like Eile Beleil Middes was Effen. And the Rebbe said the Effen is the Pirsha Post Mechab Be'ale Hurushim, because with all the sheets there has to be Effen because of an Effen. Like I spoke before, Mechab is an Eretz Kli, Chaye and Ganei, Sheir and Chaye. It's all opposite inyanim. Usually in hell, like Neshama and Guf, Eir B'Kli, so it's always the Etzim. So the Etzim is Mechaber, he says the Eir and the Sphere is in the Keilim, fine. So where we up to, in the middle of the Daled, I think, no? We spoke about it before, we have to, you can take a little bit of the Express and see all the testing, yeah? Fine. Ach, Indian, I think in the middle of the Daled, we went to, yeah. Indian, Mashawaya, from the Tzaddik, בהלוך בשמש לפרש שמש, כמובן שבשנת אין על העיר של השירף, בדוס חיי, על מחי של כל השירף בעצמו. אם ידעו שנש על העיר מפרש שמכיר בדוס חיי, יש גם חי שפקיר למעצמו. זה מה שכל סוף בכל אנטי ספייד, מה יש תואר גוף בלם ישמעסו, ולא יש מבט לגמרי, ממציאוסם, שיש חייש בכלי השפירף, אז שם לבד העיר שם בשם בהם. Was is that except you learn not by in should be Israel, right? That Neshama the group is the same thing. Neshama Pakininivach goes away from the group doesn't come in Ganzen. The group stays a while, a Chedesh, a year. It matters with which people, yeah. Why is this? Because the group had this, like the Kelim had its own Shehesh HaChayis. Five Pakininivach, so why does it suffer so? The group they build in Ganzen, because even the group geworden, had the kid become, so it's like this Abba and Nasakuli comes to the air. Then the Chai Sakuli has to go to the Neshama also. Even though the group has its own Chayis, but how does the group take its own Chayis also to the Neshama? Because the Chayis group, the Sheirish is Helen, the Rishim and Kechagvur. Called Pula Zrachי Pilma Nifel. Everything has to go through air. Focus of everything has to go through air. The nail a certain people in the Neshama is makif on the group a month, a year. So the group takes its chayis from the air HaNeshama. Although the air Neshama goes ganzen away from the group can take its chayis that has to be cherished also. But the Rayu is, but if it wouldn't be in ganzen chayis or group, so it wouldn't be enough, this Neshama that's a market. So the neighbor, so this variety that the group has its own share shachayis. But people move she'am she comes to the case of al-Kizra, she'er shall call us your Nesham Habai. There is a doctor, the air from Kolashir is, the etzem the air is Sham Habai. B'yachem b'nzeh, tot could be b'bashantet. She'achilukim misyus v'chulei rakim shal v'kelim. גם של החי של הכלים, השירף. שהחי של כל החסן של כאל, החי של כל הגבונים כשמנוקים. ובעצם הריזם is not inside the כלי, the air is because של החווי, the של החווי, the way it goes with kale, because חסן שמנוקים is גבורה, but it's all inside הכלים. Oh, but the air goes into it, so it has a shachet to the air also, and the air from Shlili, no. And that's what Hashem Tzvois. Hashem Tzvois, Hashem Adonai, Hashem Tzvois, Hashem Elikim, Hashem Kev, and from the Klei HaSfiris, and the Chayish B'Tzvech M'Zeh, in the law, believe me, they said, the Koya on the air, the Chayish B'Tzvech, the Klei HaSfiris M'Zeh. The anderen, the gelernt, the Akanti, and andere, adorgeit, of the Sfiris M'Zeh. Und sie ist das Schäler, I feel the part of this greatest frustration of Atma, the erste Pschutim, good, the air betechakuli. Maar Rizal had als een eerste behelmen, als ze brima, als je een behelmen, het door in eer neemt van Shalil, eer door niet van Sfirif. על פי העומש הכוון, בכל כלפות השני של אלה החייס. שבכלי השבירה של מובן שני זהו עומק הנעל. יש לנו איזשהו שבושם בכיוון שעל זה כל אלה מנסים לקרש הפרדס. כאילו שזה האלה החייס של כלי השבירה, בחינו גמר, האלה שמות נעל יש. אז אידיש משלח עם גמר, גמר אחד. שלמה מקרים שאידיש משלח עם חייבר, בחייבר אחד. בכם בכל שלב ומטה, ויש לנו משלחים, ורק Believe it me personally, from Chayil Gamir. Actually, Chassidus doesn't speak about this in some markets. That goes Elam Neso with Bashanta goes on that. Look, it says that Line Shain Shen Chokim goes on the Kalim, nine bases. That is just what by it. Teref Harav Hamagdim, Maamar Darlek, Mikra Mikra. Mikra Mibavai, Mikra Mibadne, when you daven, you say Adna. And it's Mikra Mibavai from Abai. It was famous, and Mikra Badno is from Giduk, Shem Adna, whom the Samalchus. If you have a Shabbat Muna, Adna is Malchus, they know the arm, and ordinary of the Mimsok, Shem Adna, who become Nachman, Nachman Amavavad. Heel wie niet Hashem adem shidenu, but the course of the Shaggy Fidel. But in Horse alone, when we could Hashem adem, and that's what we had permission to say adem. But this had the keshet to us. Adem collaboration. Good, it says, see this, the when Toshin Gimel, that's what it says from the Hay, and they nail them, right? So even though it's adem, who adem the Shaggy Fidel, but this is the Taicha Odin, not that Ben Elam we stick always in Adnan. This is the Odin the Hechle, that goes in the Haich Badega Rossen Hamuchle, that goes the Haich Badega Nessen, you know. That's the tefillah from that Ben Elam is a special tefillah, the Naram with Prog. If you learn Toshin Gimel, the Maamar Ben Elam, special Maamar, or it's in the Roshana from the Hay, the Aces in the Roshana. Huh?
Terem kali zu nivre.
Ja, dat is de hechtste innen, niet nog bij terem kali zu nivre. En dat is nog veel, kan dat lang eerst eigenlijk is. En ik wil zu nivre behechten. En dat je de hechtste innen, zoals een hamuchel, dat is muchel beëten, de geet dat een goede hamitzie is. De geet dat een hechtste innen, ja. En een goede hamitzie is, ja. Je zegt eten, is het. En je know, de highest madrig in Erev, van wat zo nog de eten is net een één verhaal met hamoy film toch zien gimel de twee maamar de voor maamar toch zien gimel beginning wij mesud de film met de rotzen daar hangt dat bach moet learn beglaar het geheim is maar speel maar mooi even ja is learn with bach 16 years old this was like even though it's hard maamar because learned in yeshiva but I feel stuck I don't know.
Yif Chalal.
Huh?
Daar we dan Yif Chalal. Yif Chalal is best in it.
Ja, Yif Chalal. Yif Chalal. Dat is mijn, dat is nog op Gimel. Ja, want dat is dat Maamar. Dat is niet bekraden, but this is the whole tumult. Die three Maamar. Rashan, Chadadum, Yum, Be'emnei, and it should be saw, the three Maamar. The Kismafir was also a special name, yeah. So it was a whole Yel Kochter met hem dat Maamar, he made us Maamar, that is Magir Maamar, yeah. And this is built the whole Shichet from Chevek Dalet, Roshon, Reinyan Roshon, Reinyan Kippur, Rabbi Shikrat Maamar, Nation for Chassidus, but he spoke in the Shichet. This became the basic Shichet, Roshon and Kippur. Go Shichet, yeah. The police even say, how could you go to Rosh and Kippur by bringing those two Shichas? You don't know what Rosh and Kippur is. Ich kann nicht durch, ich mag nicht am Malchus, ja. Auch schon mal wei, wo ich am Eltern am Habekol habe, noch ein Mikro, ich was. Rabbi spoke, it was also this Maamar is on the Ches. Rabbi spoke in camp for the children. Huh? Und hier, was gaat there, und I spoke for the kids, it's Fitaish Sam Habaye, from the Guinness Aggies, yeah. And Sam Habaye is the Etzen, and das ist Etzen Hamuchlich, und das ist Etzen, the wird Taish Sam Habaye. Fitaish ist Sam Habaye Sam Hamhave. Then is a Malchus, and this is the Paris, and Chachman Tiril Sam Habaye in the highest Taish, and Chui Be'etzen. We hebben spoken to Shemiah in camp for the children. There was a fellow for the young children that spoke at this deep mimer. Then what is Shemiah? We don't see anything. Had to just reingehackt auf den Kuss, der Ätschel von dem Kuss und alle Kinder. Ja. That had his look, what he did. This Amunah, this Hatchmus, and every Jewish child. Yeah. ולכם אין מיקרו כקשיבס, ואין בזה ושמבאי ושמן פרש, מה יש שם עצם שעצם הוא מים כל מיני שבת. לכם אין מיקרו כקשיבס, שכין מקריא רגיל לבית משמגיע מהזולש. אחרי הוא יכול קבס רגיל שם עצם מים לשבת, בית משניש בנשיאוס, אבל בדברים בוטל, זה שמשמד מדווקא שהם בין שם עצם, כפי בגיל לזולש, עם השבת. אז זה שמד מבשין השבת. זה עם המלכות והאדנוס. That's what Chassidus says, be'emsim, there are three different Teichen, aber behellen alle drei Teichen, wenn es selber schon mal war. So kann es so, Chassidus hat darum, wie schon welche Kia, kann Malchus Mahaber sein, wenn Ord Makol Ore, das ist was es da in Shamabaye, der Hexe ihnen, wir sehen mal Ätzen, weil Becker Mahaber sein, Babke beätzen. In Gelui, mit Raka Adnus, der Niedrigste. Und behellen, wir dürfen dort behechteln. Kiefer soll es sich ihnen am Luch auf Adnus, lachen, was ihnen gesagt, die Symmetrie soll anwa abwarten. Da soll bin mir gekriegt, bis ich schein Hocken. Sie kriegen trotzdem Dornen, bei von Hoge bin ich schon gut. Schon kill begessen. Ich war immer geboren. Der eben an Hoge begessen, ich mir Meister wie Meister. Ja, sein schein Hocken. Ich habe mich gesagt, da, wenn man Chafeda besprochen mit Sichern. It says that the first day was Shem killed the Chesed, then with the Gebura, then Chesed Ozim Kula Yem. Even though every day had its shame, but Shem Chesed Ozim Kula Yem. So I read why Shem Chesed Ozim Kula Yem. So in the Chassidus that the Etzem, every spirit darf onkomen zingen voor Chesed. Maar ik voel het Gebura. Ik zal niet gebeuren, Chesed Kula Yem met Gebura. So Gebura was behandeld. Gebura kan zijn, als je merkt van de regime van Shekecha Gebura, kan gar nicht in den Schabe werden. This group of I scream on the person. If when you call the Gebura, but it's also Chesed and Kula Yem. Come so Gebura, I don't have to scream on you don't exist by me. I'm locked into myself. And so ich kann nicht gesagt, ich kennen nicht. Das Group of is schreiben dir, reden mit dir. Und da Kesher, das ist der Chesed und Kula Yem. The Jiwi, das in every sphere, this is in the Chesed, that's why I should be Chesed, all in Kula Yem. Fine. Das ist nicht scheiße, fine. Ja. Meestal, waarbij de Peres Harab Hamagin, zien dat je bescherm Adnaim, dus je in een machine met brede kwamen, ze zeggen ze bij ons bezint. Hoe kan ik hier zo wat om is ordnen, zo bij je mensen in een machine, geen kolen in een machine. Wir haben nicht was, so hin, haben nicht keine Sorgen, die wir mit Gatsch mehr, mit Gatsch mehr, so was, wie es noch geht, wo Orden, also das sein, aber Gatsch mehr, ich würde sagen, wir haben schon mal essen. Ich muss sagen, ich weiß, ich mag hier, ich habe erst, ich muss sagen, ich habe einen Kanal, bei uns muss aber zuerst sein, ich mache einen Kontakt mit Dackes, das war aber kein. Ich muss sagen, der Ehre geht durch die Schimme steht, wird his Abos mit der Ein in der Ehre. Haben jetzt aber kämen. So in hat 5 kämen, begab wir 11. In der Bord, ich bin 5 Marie, ich weiß nicht, was ich begangen. Ich habe was noch gesagt, da war ich mir first as be the super gegangen, ich bin da viel gegangen. וזה אנחנו גם עשינו שבקרים גם בערב, וגם אם נקרים שם אגנו, אבל הם שווה שם ich schiebe sich gerade darum, es darf sein zwei Jahren. Es darf sein Beziehungsum und es darf sein Regime des Abus. Des Abus non-frisch mit der Beziehungsum. Der Ehre, worauf man kämen, darf sein sei Asylik in Ehe, sei Abgis in Ehe. Am Mamosh ist die Kim. Na, was kann sein, des Abus in Ehe, der Mamosh ist die Abgis, dass man sagt, wenn man es frisch gehen Asylik. There wouldn't be Asylik, there couldn't be this other say. We spoke about it once, what is subuk, right? Huh? I hope you guys remember we spoke. We hebben geredet de eerste jaren naar Zag. In de Maamar, het was te zijn, door de Maamar, die Leschenes. Zo based aan tegen eer, yes? Aan passig op jou, tegen eer. Aan passig op jou, tegen eer. Said the word is shivuk, no, expression, no. This guy said no. Nichel ha'er, the more, right? What is nichel ha'er, the more? At the end of some word, you guys, can you sum up what you want from cover to cover, huh? What?
No.
I don't know that.
Huh? So mamish, but then from the vine, from the chef, we hebben leven thuis, maar het niet wel mooi in net zo mooi. Dat is niet mooi, mamisch. Wat willen de symptoom? En niet wel eer, dat we redden in net zo mooi. Dat redden is het zijn. Het vergiet is voor jou, dat nemen, net zo mooi. Goed. I want to speak with you guys from Chala, from Bob. In Bayele, godsdienst about dat je daar is rules if you guys learn. Yeah. Aber ich habe mal bei jeder gesagt, dass die Gamre, als nicht dann in Hiroshima, und es macht Schilder von Gamre, because the Kamana is Lahore, so it's, and the Nakuda Be'etzim, right? Huh? Do you guys remember? Huh?
No. It's good to remember.
No, because you can't forget, this is, you learn the whole life. You have to learn with Bambatim, that's all. With Timsum, with Moya, Shino, said the Kabbalah. Fine. If a guy doesn't know, the Eibush makes that nobody should ever come over to him and this is pshat. No, Eibush is a good thing, yeah. The Koponium, we spoke about it once. I don't know why I say because wherever I go, nobody has a tough song in it. I don't know why. Because, yeah. I don't know the exact email. We heard it probably when we were kids, 15, 16, 5. I don't know if we took it right or not. But could be in Samachalef, right? You ever live from Chalef? Huh?
Yeah.
Tikkun Samachalef, right? So tickets from the house in every place, even from the wall, it goes to Commission's Bar and the tickets from the house. Tickets from the house is the basis from the Mamar after it, but then speak about things from the Silver, it goes to from the house, yeah. Because he said the saying is that touching down. Ballad also says a little bit from Shavuos, yeah. It's also beer on 9 days, but call upon him. Wat type als je een centrum is, we hebben tanden met een reeg, we hebben het verschillende tanden. En de tanden komt ze dan raad niet naar een cirkel tanden. En dan regular cirkel tanden, je gaat tot small raad, and you don't need the whole problem, huh? Maybe the Milo, it has to go that way, because the other small raad, this is a soft, it has to come illness. En Davis wilde geen illness zal zijn, niet naar de eigen illness, maar bis zu sein dann den Herzen in, bis het dan heeft de hersen in, heeft de in soort van niet in. So how does it work? So it has to be this whole remember. The Rebbe Shabbos Upton calls the hair, the face, the Chiddush, the Rebbe is to say, even though it says Mitzrayim, the real title calls the hair, the Rebbe Shabbos, the Chiddush. But Koponim so did the, as we speaking here in mind, the big one, the Kirch, Hagvul. And the Kashakan illness, but that's moved be'etzim, not only Hagbola be'etzim, but illness is also Helman be'etzim. It's two in yon. And Kalim are two in yon. Kalim is not air, it's Hagbola, I mean. Kalim is Hagbola. Not only it's Hagbola, it's Helman. To have these two yon, Hagbola and Helman, you need which two things? You need Tzimtzum, you need the Rishim Ekech Hagbola. The Tzimtzum can make Silbuk, Helman. So it can give a place for Helen, but doesn't give a positive thing, Kalim, that not only Hagbola, but also Helen. I mean, the Tzimtzum you make be enough from Hagbola, but to have Helen, you need the Rishim Ekech Hagbola. Achiv the Kim. Achiv the Kim. So, if you have Kech Hagbola, Kech Hagbola, no, Fahren Tzimtzum said, was ich war eher Bigel, dann bis Galus, weil der Kech Hagbola hat nie gehelfen. Was nennt nicht gehelfen? Nichlin Gil, was makes Nichlin Gil. After gehelfen Kech Hagbola, as a Shlemis in Gil. Balti, so Kishem Shiyeshet, B'kach Eshker B'gvul, so Nele, Baal, he's B'gvul, gibt der Ort auf sich al Makabel Echet. Fechel Arab ist aufgekommen. Nicht, weil man gibt der Ort von Makabel. Aber mit der Shlemis hat B'gvul, ich war Ort auf sich al Tamit. Das sich al Tamit ist der Shlemis in B'gvul. Weil der Rab zu Einzel guckt auf sich al Tamit, wird dort in B'gvul. So a Shlemis ist sich al B'gvul. B'gvul understand this part. Like the student said that the Shlemis Seichel is you can explain it in all the ways. So why can you explain it in all the ways? Because there's a way that we give the place of Talmud? No, or because this shows on the B'gvul from the Rab, you can understand it every way. So the Seichel could come even in such a way. But in every way, what's helped over there? It's a Shlemis who was in B'gvul, right? What there had to be a symptom? To uptail from Gvul and B'gvul. Ich should unhear the end from Kech Hagbola, I in the Sadafsni. He said that the Rab, is bald sich dann, the Kavroni is, given as an illness, wenn das nur Versuch, soll doch nicht hören, und ich in Gvul, aber das ist ein bisschen B'gvul, verkehrt, der Kavroni, bald der Emes ist doch. Kech Hagbola Megale, dann Etzen, also die Kech Hagbola, geschehen, aber der Ewigste, der Etzen, der Kricholte, Gil, Kricholte, behellen, idach, bei der Kech is Beshobe, noch mehr Rettchen, der Maime, Kech Hagbola nannt noch tiefer, die Log der Mahof, Gvul, dies ist der Etzen. Der Fall gewinnt das Silbuk. Ich weiß, wenn der Silbuk, ich sagte, der Rebbe, ich will nicht über Moje zu tun, aber ich habe eine Frage über Moje in Essen und Ehre. Ich bin die Tage, ich sage, Pag Juli. Ich war mit der Essen und an mich über Moje, an der Gitter, wo ist das, die Stiere von Gvul und B'gvul, ist in Geluyen. In Essen ist noch Stiere von Gvul und B'gvul. An mich über Moje, der Rab geht zurück zum Sheresh HaSeichel, zum Kech HaMaskul, also Kech HaYoatzmi. He goes to this Madrege in Seichel, that's higher than Gillian Helen. He said, wo ist das, die Stiere, sich hat Talmud gelungen. Bei der Rab versteht von Metzger oder Rei, wie der Talmud versteht, ist bei einer Recht. Von der ersten Kech HaSeichel, gibt es auch der David Beshove. Der Seichel Harab nicht in Geist Meister, und sich hat Talmud nicht claimt, das ist, gibt es auch der Talmud. Der Vater sein, Michael Bemoyer, Zintum der Silbuk, der Rab war ganz verdeckt, es meint nicht simpel Silbuk, der Rab geht schlafen im Bett. Der Rab geht verdeckt, es fällt von mir in von Geluyen und talkt so zu mehr zum Essen. Michael Bemoyer, der Rab sagt in dem Maamar der Sprache, geht verdeckt von Tagen von Keach, Tagen von Geluyen zu Keach oder Jechelet. Wir viel Maamar mit der Rab in den ersten Jahren, da der Silbuk ist beteiligt, geht verdeckt mit Tagen von Geluyen. If you ever learned that Maamar built to Mugoyin, and Tasvov, Tazayim, these Maamar, the Tzimtzum is, geht verdeckt von Geluyen, in his pastures, Dage Keach, Yechelet, and Madrege hiding Jew. The Keach and Yechelet, there's a place for Geluyen, the Helen of the Hashuvah. So the Rab, fills in seinen Seichel, und mir gibt es auch auf Seichel HaTalmud. Gibt es Seichel HaTalmud mehr? Steht nicht mehr für Silbuk. Kennen nicht gern Geseichel. Ich weiß, der Losch in Famachala, muss ich was wir hören? No? Anybody remembers? No? Aber das ist was wir sagt in Hagoi? Huh? The Meikein, Mein Yobi, huh?
No, it's a gila that.
Ein Yobi Hagil. What is Ein Yobi Eir? What the expression there? The Mädchen, I forget it. In Mädchen, Ein Yobi Hagil. Or Ein Yobi Eir. About the apartheid in them. I went eerst nog to Ugraai in Montreal. I went to Belgique with L'chaim in Montreal, and that was right. We spoke about it. How did you learn that? I couldn't. She said, I'm not tight and pipe. That was, die Baal versteht das nur für Silber. Er habe es abgetragen, ja, that was the symptom, right? And the Rab goes into himself, it can be my spear. My spear has to go down again to the Hagel of you. Here comes the Chiddush, I'm making big kids of it. The Chiddush, the Rebbe is saying, that's because of the hay, you have to come down again to the world of Gilui. Rebbe Rashad, upt is Eisa Mamish. The word because of the hay steht tegen Mitzchayim. The Rebbe is saying, upt is, it's Eisa Mamish. Eisa Hagilui was before it comes again. That comes.
It's a harder.
Huh?
It's a harder, nicht der.
Abu?
Sag es nur a harder, gibt der ganze Moschel.
Nee, dat is nog dat gemakkelijk, ja. De kaasje is, dat is, de pakje heel goed. Even dat God zei, dat nog eenmaal bottelen en zeggen aan elkaar bij mij. Dat we weten hebben, en dus zeggen raden, zoals alleen als haraad. Dat het was het begin, wie was je naar Zintum, herstig in de air, de gewoon is wat. Dat is goed, it's not for you, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not in the mind, you're right, but get that line, stick to mind. We'll do it. I can do it in 5 minutes, right? Answer, huh?
Fine.
Huh? No, I don't be sure. Oh, scheiße, this just the older book and later go on. It should now be a little bit beyond at least. Should be friend. It has to be Eser Imamish. De kat dat nog eenmaal bortelen dan. Dat zich het handen wel dokter van de galen. En die eer, die badde kabon, ik zeg maar dat tint in de eer. Hij zegt van in de eer. Hij was bij de gemaakt, right? Nee, we zijn nee naar bij de gemaakt. Nee, we was het van de raad, zeg wat aan. De gemaakt het van zijn zegel. Daar hebben we ook about it. Before the Messias, to
There is
Noske,
Mamshuk Nakab.
Goraya. Nein, dat geef me dogma van deze Indian.
Wow.
But not everything in the same minute.
How you can understand if it's stuck in Dugmas?
Huh?
Without a Dugmas.
Yossi Ugrari gave it out on his bar mitzvah, the chassid, this kid, gave in the, but the Rebbe spoke to his father. He spoke in Tzadik Dalet, at Kiyum Bartel, at Yossi Bartel, Kiyum Nisha, if you know the Hagoya, in Tzadik Dalet, right? Big one from the Keir. Ich wollte immer diese Jungen, ich hatte gehört, Tzadik Dalet, huh? Nicht Tzadik Dalet. There's a mime in ein base, a few lines. Nisma, the page, and if you get the whole Hemshech, Tzadik Dalet, one hardest Hemshech,
Tzadik Dalet.
and the future had, yeah.
Oh.
And Tzadik Dalet, yeah, the left Hemshech. And the people that future had spoke, that's my babe, if you had speaks much deeper than Tzadik Dalet. Then Topshin Tezvav, Tishrei, that spoke a little bit of beer on that Maimer. But we didn't have the whole Hemshech 9 days. So it doesn't, and the Piyab doesn't end as Hamshach because the people came to Piyab, he speaks too hard, and the Piyab just came to poem. They didn't understand what Piyab is saying. The Piyab told me, ich habe gewollt again, the Gedicht, and now I'm going to give you a Zuckerlach, I'll give you just a, he spoke a very easy mime in the next mime. And the Rebbe was in Paris, he was in the middle of the Hamshach Naim. And so Gebuisach, you saw the Piyab wants to be in Nagala, in here, more than 9 days. And stopped the Hemshech, and the Rebbe was very upset. We came to Poland, he gave a chelik called the Chsidim. How you tell the Rebbe doesn't understand that, you guys don't know what he's saying. The Rebbe gal seine Inne, Mishnah sagt, which Maimed, kind of Maimed I really should say. And he's very upset, and then gave him a big chelik, but it stopped, it didn't stop. When Tezvav, that is, speaks to him through Mamorim in the same union. And he speaks a higher madrigal. Tzadik Dalet we have it on 3 madrigas in a reich in the lost God is built to come. But in my base, there's another line there, and there's another bit, it'll be more cooks up here. Nowadays there was a joke. You might have cooked that there, and the other said it in Maimon as well, but it's really also in the Hemshech of Ein Beis. There's another bit in air, the more you cook that air, how much air fills in a reich, the more it looks even more in a reich and the air. And this bit was also held in the air. It's like Chassidim filled the in a reich and then to a Rebbe. Then there was a Rebbe looks for Chassidim. It's a deeper in a reich, and this is followed by a Chassid also. Fine.
Yeah.
We always used to joke around, but the type the more you cook that air. Fine.
The joke point with the joke is.
Huh?
I don't know if we can't point with the.
And the joke, I don't know, everything the someone said, guys, my cook that air. Like, we didn't understand what it is, no? So we said, my cook that air. Huh? But at least you know the expression, I mean, more cook that air. Yeah.
You don't understand it, you know what to say.
It's expression touch in Tazvav in the Rebbe, to the Bach in Tazvav, they didn't know about any day in Talibah. But the Rebbe get to the Gilu in Tazvav, it's higher than Talibah and higher than Ein Beis. And every door.
Which Maimon does this?
What? And Tishri like a Mamar. Shema Yisrael is the Tupi Mamar in Tazvav.
I'm going to Tasbah now.
Ich killed there's Hawaii speaks to and that's very in that fact.
Shmi'a Yisrael.
Huh?
Shmi'a Yisrael.
I just said Shema Yisrael. Fine. So I call from you. So the Rab has to give the Talmud a Seichel, and the Baal the Talmud came to this Rab, wants to take Seichel HaRab. So you can't give from the Seichel Talmud. So it has to be Chod V'Heir. I Chod V'Heir to become bottle again Seichel Talmud. He says in some Machalos and different Mamorim that what's felt in the Rab Seichel Talmud. Seichel Rab is on the Chmakri, and he puts into Seichel Talmud the Seichel HaRab. Where's the Seichel HaRab and Seichel Talmud? Where is it? Hidden? Huh? So it says in Topshin Dalet and Ein Beis, but where? In the Eishes HaSeichel. That's what it says, you have to be the dying of Seichel HaRab. Where does the Rab hide the Seichel? Where? If a guy after one Shnin, because why did the Rab say the Seichel in these Eishes? You could say it in different Eishes. That's what by Chassidim, you learn in a Maamar, you will die Eishes HaRab, because in Eishes HaRab are hidden the deepest inyanim, even the inyanim that it doesn't give out. If you work a boy shnin, you come to the Seichel HaRab that's hidden in the Eishes. Yeah. Akopan, so the air goes through the Tzimtzum, the Tziluk. Later it goes. Later it goes through the Rishim. So the Tzimtzum makes a silbuk in air, but later it goes through the Rishima, it gives a positive thing in air, a inner from Herman. That's all the soul. So the air gets nikna a inner hyperchismitzis. And that has an effect the air should go out and come down. Taba air malas l'mayla. That is obviously the vergräbkeit in air. That so it doesn't feel it's not so much as new of building, but right away it goes back to the mud. The cold man is obviously is connected to the air. You don't feel the ashes. But the air stays at new rot in every dagger. The obvious is Drake built in the keres, with Makar Shimon, that separates from the air, from this obvious becomes Kalim.
The Rishima fell this out.
This obvious in the air. The positive Hakshom in the air, his obvious with Ein, they always say, that gives a positive effect in the air. That means obvious to air, Nasaku. So, I'm not going to get to the Indian, but so Ein Beis is here's a silent, and Maamar Shlach, the morning, how much. So Pasha Shlach is a famous Maamar. You have Shlach Ein Beis, you learn it. You bring it there, it's Chaim. Chaim is the Kasha, why they have to be Sukla Gamra. It should have been what seems to the community to stay a little bit from the cap. But it's Chaim answer. If there would be left over something from the air big, but there couldn't be in the from Caleb. So the Rebbe Nishayin is, I'm just saying, Chaim. What they're having from the Kasha in Chaim, we know by Rabbi Talmud, Rabbi to find Seichel Talmud, he has to what? Has to make a super gamma. So But the Rebbe is saying the answer, the Chaim hold the ersten Abschütting. So living at Zintzum, there's not only Eir HaBligvul, there's also Eir HaGvul. Ein Rishim. This is the Chaim Shaila, mehr than Eir HaBligvul, there have to be a Silver. But Bligvul, Eir HaGvul gives a place for Gvul. Shouldn't only Zintzum Lechmiut. Here it does not felt because it's felt the Eir HaBligvul and the Eir HaGvul. Eir HaGvul is also higher. So it be a Zintzum Lechmiut. Why you need a Zintzum Lechmiut in the Eir HaGvul? That's the Havminit Nefchaim. This enters the Chaim, it's like Kalim. Because to make Kalim, you need two things. You need Zwei Shiluk and Zwei Rishim and Zwei Gvul. That the Eir HaGvul gives a place for Gvul. But Eir HaGvul would not give a place for Kalim either now, because Eir Heper can be not clear. That's what that would be a Shiluk. In the Eir HaGvul, at Newton Helen, maybe at Newton Rishim, to give a place for Kalim. And later the Rebbe said, and the Maamer, Shlach, this was another, the Esther chat, we couldn't figure it out ourselves. That there's a difference in Eretz Pshut and Eretz Mitziyor, not Eretz Pshut is a Siluk, like Amr. Like Eretz Mitziyor is only a Siluk in the Eretz Bligvul, not in Eretz Gvul. So the Kashyap, that's the Havim mit Chaim. The Rebbe Rashad mentioned even like the Shita, from Eretz Pshut has to be a Siluk. So why the Rebbe Rashad and the Maamer, the different, the two Shitas, Eretz Gvul, and the Shita from Eretz Yorim, the Siluk like Amr, and Eretz Pshut is only Zintzum Lechmiut. That was. They used to ask us the Shaila, the famous Kashyap, this is Lachaim days.
Mentioned it.
Huh?
I mentioned it.
I mentioned it in there. Fine. It's what the answer I answered that. Fine. But it's late. The same Shaila is, if you ever learn, you learn Hachedus Olavov. Huh? Yeah. So what you're saying, the end of Hachedus Olavov, why is that Shiluk Gila Helen? And Bri is Shmi'a. Because before Bria there's a parsa, before Atila there's no parsa, only a Zintzum. So you have the Kashmir is Chaim, there's a parsa before Atila also. So that if you enter later in the Hampshire, but what do you enter in Achedish? You got parsa b'shul Bria, huh? So the famous Kashmir also, they ask all the Bachim to learn Achedish. If it's B'shul Bria, why do you put it before Atila? No? Good, so this enters, in Samagdal, it says this to the parsa, parsa, but let's go to my Machede, you can pass before Bria. So put the pass before Bria, but you have to have before Atzilus. I'll just end up with this, it's late. So we should give us a marshal, but I have sticks to 10 pound need them. 6 Bachim need a marshal, a pass is like a marshal, right? 6 Bachim need a marshal, 4 don't need a marshal. But I have a chance those only say it twice. He said it was a marshal. I thought money the 4 Bachim that don't need a marshal. She said, "Gabi, these 4 Bachim body don't need a marshal. Gabi, then the marshal is not mine. Just like the Gabi the Rav, it's not mine. You see in the marshal, you see the Nimshal. These 4 Bachim, they see in the marshal the Nimshal. So, but it has an effect on them also. What is the effect? They would about them there in this class. They're not trying to say Seichel Rav as it is, but they, for their Pnimis Akelim, they could understand the air for themselves without a marshal. But if they would have to be Mazba, a younger Talmud, with a marshal, they wouldn't have the Ashes. So this is what they hear from the Rav, to a marshal the Seichel. It helps them later be Mazbir, a younger Talmud the Seichel with a marshal. That's what they put the parsley before Atzilus. What they call Gil Helens Baal, we can pass Shul Bria. They don't need a marshal, it's not mine in Ganzum Gabi. It's mine only a little bit. Like I said, Gabi Pnimis, Hakelim, there's no Helen, Gabi Chitenis Hakelim, there's a Helen. The way you have to give it to a town. The same thing in Beis. You say that what that.
Whose beer is this?
Huh?
Whose vart is this?
We only call it Gael Khan, probably someplace in the Louis, in the, how you call it, in the Erican part. Or your uncle, I'm not saying all.
Same.
Fine. We heard it years, 50 years ago, fine. More than 50 years. The same thing here in Ein Beis, he's about to enter the Rebbe Rashab. In Bel, there's 2 young, there's the Gbol and there's the Helen. The Gbol from Bel doesn't need a silk legami because it has the air Gvul. The whole thing in Yesut Lagamre is inside the Helen from Bell. This is the Rabbi Rashab said. When you look in the Chaim Yasakashi, you look in the world has a taste of what's symptom and not a symptom. There's a different the Hakbola from Bell, the Helen from Bell. The Helen from Bell helped on, Mishula Kalim, the Dagisha Kalim helped on, the Sulik Lagamre. The Hakbola from Bell, whatever that means, we feel in the world is that no Helen Lagamre. Besides this union that is the Eir HaGvul, so there's also Atnuah from giving not to symptom. I don't know what will add to your I'm an Achlis Habayim, it will add to you, bothers you, anything. So these are the two Hapochim. Back to us. As Pami he says, is the Subak Lagamre, this Abat Shmei. The Tzadis is Abat Shmei, could be Megat Shmei, you could be the Shem Avnus. This is the Eir HaShaykh LaElenis. And so forth, in this Eir HaShaykh LaElenis is the whole Eir HaBligvul, and so forth, also loving. From Hawaii, his Havus will take Hawaii, kick Sibose, he'll take the Shema Ferish, he'll take the Etzim. And that's the whole Nekuda. As you spoke in Yud Aleph also, there's the time you hail the Hamirim upon his born, the Kavanah Yom Hazeh, but you see, can't say the Kavanah is what? Helem, you can't say Kavanah is Agiride, Dafke in Yom Hazeh, you had the Etzim, Hagan in Geluim is higher, the same thing in Basant, in the Chais Kli, and the Alter Rebbe. Of that Atmos is Dafke in the Chais Kli, in the Chibet Neves in Kalim, in Hazeh. We had Atmos. Right. And the Rebbe spoke with two small children in camp, so the Tahaya Taish in Hawaii, in Guinness Eggs, that's Mechuilan and she is fine. Whatever the shot to you, it'll put everything in its place, you know.
Good.